Thank you for welcoming me onto your screens, onto your headphones, depending on how you're watching this. I'm Eddie, and this is The Rollback. Folks, I'm here to talk to you today about The Little Mermaid, aka... Alright, so full disclosure here, I've never actually seen the original Little Mermaid. Like, for some reason when I was a kid, I never watched any of the Disney princess movies other than the obvious. When I was a kid, I don't want to watch princess movies, I want to watch superhero films. That was me. I prefer Batman over Cinderella. Just my personal input. The closest I ever got to like Disney princesses and all that was like the Shrek movies. So that said, I kind of came into this mind with a fresh note, no loyalty to the original, so I actually came into this with like completely clean eyes. That's a long intro. So the youngest of King Neptune's daughters, Ariel, a beautiful young woman, wants to explore the world beyond the ocean, wants to explore the world of man, much to the chagrin of her father. She makes a deal with the sea witch, yes, to go on land. She also happens to fall in love with a young man by the name of Prince Eric. I'm sure the prince helps. And she has 3 days to get him to kiss her with full love intent. Otherwise, she becomes Ursula's slave forever, and Ursula will then use that to bargain with King Triton to get the Triton, and then King Neptune to King Triton to get the Triton, and rule the seas. I'm assuming she's his sister. He is her brother. Yeah. So this movie just essentially it revolves around Ariel and her love for Eric and her wanting to explore and be adventurous. So, a couple things. First off,
a man
Haile Bailey.
Had to save him.
This obsession with humans has
believe it or not, that's
stop.
actually the way you pronounce her name, Haile Bailey. At least that's the way I looked it up. She has some pipes. She can sing, and she sings. I've never seen the original, but I know the music, and I know for a fact Haile has some pipes. She can out-sing. She has this beautiful voice, this incredible voice, operatic in style, just genuinely magnanimous. And to Haile's credit, she's not just a good singer, she's a great actress. She is a dual threat. She plays Ariel naive, but like in a curious way. She wants to know more about the world. And it's enviable, you know, we all remember that time when we were kids or when we were younger and we want to explore. Now imagine her, but she wants to explore not just the ocean, but the larger world itself, and maybe even unite the two worlds. Apparently one man killed King Triton's wife, hence he has an embargo with the human world. So this movie lives and dies on her shoulders, and she carries the weight of this film flawlessly, performing well. And it's crazy because she doesn't do an exact copy of Ariel from the original, at least not from what I can tell. She does her own interpretation of the role in dealing with King Triton, in falling in love with Eric. And now, from what I've been told, and bear in mind, these are all secondary things, I've double checked, the relationship is different, whereas in the film, they don't really take the time to mold and shape Prince Eric. In this film, they flesh him out a lot more and make the relationship one of not just, you know, oh, you're pretty, let's get together. It's more of like, they have a commonality in exploration, in adventure, in learning about new cultures. They want to experience the world together, to travel. That's not a bad thing. Also, I don't think it hurts that your father-in-law is King Neptune. I'm pretty sure King Triton. I'm pretty sure he'll keep your boat safe from now on. I'm just saying there's like militaristic advantages here to him marrying Ariel. Like they could become a power. I'm getting off topic. Look, the fact of the matter is that fundamentally this film is good. It doesn't drop any balls. If anything, it adds more to the original film, whether it's fleshing out Prince Eric, Miss Haile's performance, or Ursula, which genuinely, Melissa McCarthy, I thought that was an odd choice to play Ursula. Turns out, no, she actually played her pretty damn well. Again, I have nothing to go off of from the original, but from what I can see from here, she plays a pretty solid villain. Not as fleshed out as, let's say, Maleficent, but she had her own complete film. Whereas Ursula in this one, from what I can tell, she's a lot like the original, just one really mean lady. Technically, Ariel's aunt, taking advantage of her. Which, I mean, she does have a dastardly plan. And props to the actress that plays Ursula in human form, because she has some crazy eyes. And I'm not making fun of you, I'm just saying the part where she says, "you lose," her eyes are bulging, and it's a little creepy, not gonna lie. So that said, I'm sure you're wondering if there are any knocks I have in the film, of which, yeah, I've got a few, but none of them have to do with the story, only the execution, meaning The CGI on some parts is very nightmarish. I'm talking about Flounder. Also, I really actually like Dasani? Aquafina. I actually really like Aquafina. I really liked her Renfield. I really like Aquafina. She was fine as Scuttle, but I hated that scuttlebutt brat. Like, that felt entirely out of place. I know for a fact that was not in the original. That was one of those things that they added in, and I can understand why they did. It's just like, what the hell, man? Like, it felt so weird. That was the only cringy part. That took me out of the film, I'll be honest. But what brought me back in was also the fact that, like, when Ursula turned into this giant monster, she was imposing, intimidating, genuinely scary. I was kind of hoping Godzilla was going to come out of the water and kill her, but that's besides the point.
That doesn't make us
also,
enemies.
I think it's important. Prince Eric is not the one that stabs Ursula. It is Ariel. She directs the ship to take out Ursula. She is taking a more active role, more agency in her story. Also, in addition to that, the fact is Ariel and Eric don't marry at the end. They're going to go on an adventure, but that's important. There's not this Romeo-Juliet-esque, let's get married after 3 days of fun. They're going to go on an adventure. They're going to see if they actually like each other. And I mean, whether they intended it or not, I think that's a better story. That's a better plot element, rather than just getting married. They pulled a Frozen, and I mean that in a good way. That said, though, this film, I mean, B+, it's definitely the best live-action Disney princess film that they've made. And that's saying a lot, considering Hermione wasn't one of them. But yeah, I'd argue it's probably the best of them all. Obviously, none of them have been outright terrible, except for Mulan. But no, I like this film. Any controversy about the casting of Ariel should be sidestepped. It's, can she sing? Yes. Can she act? Yes. Does the film hold true to the original story? For the most part, from what I can tell, it only improves. I don't see any negatives. I don't see why anyone should have an issue with the casting of this film. It's simply a good movie. Side note, don't know if this is politically correct or not to say this, but I remember when Black Panther came out, I had never seen so many families of color at the film at one time, and they were enjoying themselves. They were finally getting to see proper representation as far as a superhero was concerned. And I can say, when I went to go watch The Little Mermaid, that was the same case. A lot of young families, a lot of young, impressionable girls watching a mermaid, someone who looks like them on the big screen. It's important. Representation is an important thing, whether you want to admit it or not. But that said, again, B+, what did you think of the film? Go ahead and comment down below. What did you think? Do us a favor, hit subscribe. You probably stopped listening by now. And yeah, we'll see y'all later. Bye, everyone.